we don't give much thought to the effort that goes into producing content. This also includes the stuff that you'd watch on TVs. And I know, as much as we love making fun of older people for watching sports with a beer in their hands, saying that no effort goes into making what they would see on TV would be nothing short of an uneducated lie. In fact, the effort that goes into producing TV content goes above and beyond the traditional production value of most videos made entirely online, such as this one. I've decided to use soccer as an example. With how much action goes on in the field, production teams do their best to get the best shot every time. Now, if you've ever watched literally any sport, you might ask yourself, how do they get that perfect angle almost every single time? The answer? Every camera is on. But they are assigned individual responsibilities, which we'll cover in a bit. No good video about placements does not include maps, which is why we'll be using this one to show my case. Now, it should be pretty obvious, but I did not make this map, so again, all of the stuff that I'll be using in this video will be linked down in the description. Now, we're not going to go through every single camera, but I'll make sure to go through the most important ones, being camera number 1, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 19 and 20, 22 and 23, and last but not least, camera 32. Now, all of these cameras have their own responsibilities, which we'll start off with camera number 1, which I feel like this clip will be pretty self-explanatory as to what it does.
Still full of running, and his guts.
Camera 1's responsibility is to capture the whole view of the field to give us an idea as to where everyone is. While it's not the best shot to create tension for the viewers at home, it's definitely a more realistic experience, emulating what fans at the stadium are more likely to see. As you can see, the camera is placed nicely in the back, allowing the camera operator to give us a view of the entire field. However, it's more likely that the camera will be focused on the side where most of the action is going on. Now, the next set of cameras have an interesting feature. See if you can spot it.
Touch control, no problem chesting it down. Talk about Palacio.
Cameras 5 and 6 have the responsibility of capturing exciting moments, but in slow motion, like in this example. These camera feeds are treated differently, however, as they're not used for live footage, but usually used to pad out time when the game is no longer progressing. Another function of these cameras is to give the production an aesthetic touch, allowing viewers at home to enjoy these moments in glorious high-definition slow-mo goodness, which never really hurt anyone. Cameras 5 and 6 are placed here, and these are their areas of interest. The next set of cameras, being 7 and 8, cover a similar responsibility, but from a different perspective. Have a look.
Extra time. He messed it up. He did.
Again, the purpose of these types of cameras is to add tension and give a really nice dramatic shot for the viewers at home. Not much to say here, but here's where the cameras 7 and 8 are, and here is where their areas of interest. While having cameras which cover the action is great and all, sometimes we as the viewer become curious about how the coaches react to a situation. This is where cameras 19 and 20 do the trick. Now come on, you can't tell me that that's not a happy face. Just look at that smile. Jokes aside, cameras 19 and 20 provide a niche perspective into what certain important individuals are feeling. This can include players that are currently benched, and coaches. As for the map, cameras 19 and 20 are placed here, and here is their target. Now, who said that players don't feel anything? The next set of cameras, being 22 and 23, are specifically tasked with beaming their attention to a certain player, just like in this case.
It's Super Mario. He might just have won the World Cup for Germany.
Now you might say, wait a minute, isn't this just camera 19 and 20? No, it isn't. Cameras 19 and 20 have the responsibility of capturing the reactions of the coaches and bench players, while cameras 22 and 23 are responsible for capturing those up-close shots of what's happening right on the field. Like in this case, the reaction of the player who just scored the game-winning goal for the 2014 FIFA Cup final. Now, if you were listening for the last 5 minutes and 8 seconds, you might have heard of the fabled Camera 32. And there's a reason why I add to the suspense. The reason being because it's the best camera angle and it is not up for debate. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce Camera 32? Oh shit, that's the wrong clip. As I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, here is Camera 32, the Skycam. What may look like a drone flying above the players, it's actually a very impressive system of pulleys holding up a 50-pound camera. Powered by servos, this thing is guaranteed to make any production value go up. Now, saying that they have come a long way would be an understatement. The people behind these cameras have perfected it, making sure that it doesn't vibrate while in motion, making sure that all the wires are pulled and loosened in sync. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a match made in heaven between sports and camera angles. Now, I know we don't have all day, so I'll start wrapping things up. An interesting feature about this camera is how you can set boundaries. You can set a safe zone where it can go anywhere as it pleases, while making sure it stays within those set boundaries. With all this makes Camera 32 able to practically go anywhere as it pleases. Now, all of these cameras are great and all, but they're useless unless they can send out a feed. My best guess is that all the cameras are wired to a unilateral camera distribution system, which would be a part of the equipment room found at the stadium. Afterwards, the feed gets put through to the technical facilities and production trucks. And as for how the Skycam sends out its own feed, the world will never know. It's wireless. No big surprises here. And that's a wrap for the video. Not gonna lie, I did not think I'd have this much fun looking at cameras and admiring the craft behind sports productions in like ever. So, the next time someone tells you that the TV industry is dying, make sure to tell them that it's not the cameraman's fault. If you have any questions, feel free to not post them in the comment section below, as I'm still learning quite a bit. Jokes aside, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I wish you a wonderful day.